I got it.
It'll flip up. This thing's light.
I got some lighter plans.
Put that on top. Thank you.
There you go.
That's good enough.
I wanted to bring my AK-47 to sit in the chair with you, huh? But still hung around banana clip. Can't do nothing about it.
No.
They might freak out then.
Oh, they will. They'll freak out about anything. They have the right to do everything, and we all have the right to do nothing.
Nope.
Looks like it. Okay, I don't think I can stand up much longer.
Sit down.
Yeah. My exertion is hard.
You about like me, about halfway crippled.
Huh?
You about like me, halfway crippled.
Oh God. At this point, I feel 100% crippled.
How long you stay in the hospital last night?
About 4 hours.
Yeah, I told your sister, I said I'd go down to see him, but I'm not allowed.
Yeah. I went to Lane too,
Oh.
because they would have less, weight. It's okay. Oh. Well, let me hold that thing. Yeah, it's coming apart a little, but. I just wish I wasn't in so much damn pain. Like.
You know, Trey, I wish you had been out here when this first started. Down the road for miles.
Yeah, what made me come out was when Vice President Pence even asked this asshole to stop doing it, and he said no. And I'm not a Pence fan, but when one of the most famous evangelicals in the nation asks you to stop doing what you're doing and you defy that shit, I was like, this guy's not gonna listen to anybody.
He
So.
ain't gonna listen to nobody. He's trying to get somebody hurt.
You know what it is? He's going for the publicity that it's brought.
Oh, he's making money.
Yeah, he's making money. I mean, he put on Facebook, this event was costing him $75,000. He set up an account so people could donate to it.
And they sold concessions.
Yeah. If he didn't have the money to do it, don't do it.
Oh.
Tell you the truth, I wish all this COVID shit was.
I gotta cook right now. Actually, I'm gonna take this off from. I'm just around y'all, and y'all are the people I'm not worried about getting COVID from.
It was so nice to be in Wyoming. Everybody looked at it there. And they had like 1,000 cases total a day.
Wyoming's such a beautiful place.
You went there without a mask walking down the street, and it was like some official coming up to you and saying, excuse me, ordinance, not a law.
Well, the mayor of Central refused to make an
You
ordinance.
walked into the store and they said mask or leave.
That's how it should be.
And if you didn't have one, most of the stores would give you one.
And you know they actually amended the Americans with Disabilities Act so you can refuse service to people to come into your store if they're not wearing a mask?
I looked up that. You can't refuse them. What you can do is offer them alternatives. You can offer them free delivery if you call.
Yeah.
You can offer them special hours.
Yeah, like Walmart does that.
They said, we can refuse them. Walmart can refuse you, but they have to offer you alternatives.
Walmart opens an hour early for the vulnerable and people who can't wear masks for safe shopping.
One woman had put on some Facebook page, what are people with disabilities? Sent her back a reply that said, Google AMA COVID.
And most people who have like asthma or COPD and can't wear a mask, they shouldn't go into places where people might have COVID because they're the most likely to die.
And, some of them were saying I have asthma. On them things the other night, and I told them, I said, read the governor's order. Really read it. It says if you have a reason that you can't wear a mask, believe me.
Especially children with that. Now, like I know children with asthma covering their face, they can die.
AMA, Americans with Disabilities, you can't ask many questions. At the lake, we are told if you see somebody with a dog on a cane in their arm,
You assume it's a.
The only question we can ask is it a service dog? Once they say yes, and we they cannot ask for paperwork, they cannot ask for reason, nothing. They said the only time we can intervene is if the animal is misbehaving.
Are they watching us through that damn window? No, that is too weird.
They are.
Probably. I mean, they keep walking up to it, looking out, and walking away.
Well, they got one car that made 3 U-turns around here.
Usually that's support. Thank you! He started honking really early.
Yeah. That's why I said, are they for us or against it?
Well, I put up a lot of videos, and some of them have multiple thousand views since I've been to the hospital and all that shit. And that really pissed off these people.
I think the fireworks should have done it.
Oh, God. They were...
They should be down there at the mayor of Central demanding something.
I'm going... The sheriff's department and the Central Police said, go to the mayor's office on Monday. I'm going to be there Monday with my cameras.
And if they need more witnesses, tell them, Pastor, you can call me. He'll go with you.
So I don't have a tripod anymore because when I left yesterday, I accidentally left it in that corner and they fucking stole it. And I'm pretty sure it's Tony Spell because the video, Tony gets out of his car and walks over to it.
See what they did my eye? See what they did my eye?
They punched this poor man in the eye.
But the poor man eye. 96 years old, but
You're 96?
no, I ain't.
Oh, it's like, holy shit, man, you're the healthiest 96-year-old man I've ever seen.
I just lost my father at 93, and he was healthy up until the end when we found liver.
Well, technically, I ain't so heavy, but I have lung problems, diabetes, all that kind of problems.
But okay, you wear it within reason. I tell you what, I had a problem in Wyoming was wearing it because I kept getting sick. I said, oh, you can't go to the hospital, Jeff. And I said, the altitude just never messed with me like this. I finally figured out this covering my nose plus 11,000 feet.
Oh, we're not used to that kind of air change.
The altitude doesn't bother me, but when I
couldn't get to regular breaths.
So I started wearing it, and I'd do it like this. I'd leave my nose covered, but I could.
You could get a little air in.
Cool air in.
Did that time reading center.
8:30, 9 o'clock. They almost never leave before 9.
He's not one of these time people. He just hollers until he's tired of hollering.
It depends on how much money they get in the collection plate.
United Pentecostal Church doesn't.
No, they're against him.
Yeah, because
They used to have him come out and sing at the UNI Pentecostal churches, and then they found out what he does about money collection, how he has an ATM inside. There's an ATM in the lobby. I've never heard of a church having an ATM in it.
fortunately I have.
Really?
Baptist churches. That's one reason I'm a Christian. Don't get me wrong. I believe in the Bible. I know you don't.
I have no problem with religious people. I mean, I have a degree in religious studies. I find it very interesting.
Yeah.
I have no problem with most religions. It's places like this where this is a cult, and they control people, they prey on the poor, and they steal their money.
The poor people is the ones who think, okay, no other church has done this for us.
Yeah, and the poor people come, and they give them $20 every week, and they don't have $20 to give.
No, because they're probably getting food stamps for their kids, and you get food stamps for your kids, you don't need to be giving. And
But he promises, if you give us money, your life will get better.
see, we went to churches, and one thing I do not like about churches is when they go to preaching on tithe, I'm like, you tell me in the Bible where it says I got to tithe to get to heaven.
It doesn't.
I said, let me read what the Bible says about tithing and show y'all how y'all are misusing it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be for orphans and children.
Not once does it say give money. It says give what?
Yeah, which is supposed to support the poor.
Food pantry set up at every church and telling the poor people to get it.
It's not even supposed to support the clergy. The clergy was supposed to live off the sacrifices.
That tithing is simply to support widows and children.
Yeah.
Now they'll say, but it doesn't mean that.
Oh, yeah.
No, wait.
The Bible's absolutely literal, except for whenever they say it's not.
The last sentence in the Bible says, add or subtract nothing from the Bible. So that means don't try to flip it around.
That woman's back out.
And,
She's like their enforcer. She loves to say, "Oh, we love you, Trey." And I go, "If you love me, you'd wear a mask."
Shoot my dick at her. I love you too.
Oh, you love me? Why don't you give me a blowjob?
Yeah, but the bad thing about she can't see about these shorts. Older I get, the screws her up.
Oh.
That's why I was in the hospital there. I sleep in my drawers at night, so they took my drawers off.
I hate that shit. I need underwear and socks to sleep.
The nerve was in there. I lay in bed, naked. I said, you see them a little smaller, you see them a little longer, you see them a little shorter.
Where did that damn woman disappear off to? Now I sent everything that happened yesterday to all the media.
Yeah.
They're reluctant to. They don't want to give Tony Spell more publicity. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. People send him money.
I used to work for the Sheriff Department, but all the people I knew have retired. You know, I used to have a lot of pull with the Sheriff Department. I don't have them more. Because everybody knew retired, you know.
Rainbow.
There's a rainbow in it.
It ain't the biggest rainbow, but it sure is a rainbow.
Might be kind of in their pot.
Oh, that might mean some rain's coming though.
They said 30% tomorrow.
It did drizzle a little bit a little earlier. But I like that rainbow. It's like, hey, we can see it. They can't. It's like the rainbow saying, hey, we're doing a good job.
My school bus down here and park on the side.
You drive a school bus? Or you just own one?
Converting to RV.
Oh, that's a great, man. I'm a big RVer. Like my great uncle always had an RV, and we drove all over the country.
No, that I ain't finished with. I got to paint the outside, but I've been asking around because I don't know. I've just been asking around. I need to finish it, you know.
I rented an RV, a Class A, and drove it 9,000 miles around the U.S. We ended up at my ex-wife's family reunion. But I took it all, like, you know, I took her to Yellowstone and Grand Tetons, the Badlands.
I had that truck is a brand new truck, 8,000 miles on my bought it. Now I got 40.
Rainbow.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Rainbow.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's like, hey, we're doing a great job. They can't even see it over there.
That's our kitchen cabinets in our bus.
Oh, wow. Y'all did a great job.
Let's see, hold on.
That's a great conversion.
I got a picture somewhere.
They do so many great conversions now. They even do conversions of box vans.
Oh, that's our bedroom.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Ain't quite finished yet, but
still beautiful.
I told my son we're going to come out to his house and
yeah, bring this thing out here one day. Sit.
Put some big old speakers up.
Yeah. Have a barbecue.
Have a barbecue. That would probably piss him off good. Invite everybody over for barbecue. Free barbecue.
I know they'd probably fine us if we had a fireworks display right here on the shoulder of the road.
Fireworks aren't illegal.
Put free barbecue here, chicken.
Actually, I don't think so, because I called and said, I asked, hey, I called Central Police. Can I have a Bible burning in front of the church? Like if I brought a steel barrel and, you know, bought a bunch of Bibles and burned them? And they were like, yes, you can, but not while the air quality index is bad. If I can have a barrel of fire, then I'm pretty sure that we can set off fireworks.
Yeah, have big old barbecue. Invite piss them off.
Yeah, we should do that.
That big old barbecue. Bring my barbecue pit out here.
Bring your pit, bring your bus. No, she doesn't care about being saved. She cares about being nosy and in people's shit. She's the, like, gossip queen of this place. She's one of the few black ladies they let come at night. I love it when people stop and tell us to get a job. It's like,
I have one.
Yeah.
And job, this one right here.
I got one.
This is one of my jobs, YouTube. I rent a house. My family owns an antique shop that I work at. And at the end of this month, I'll be a census field supervisor.
Oh, you going to come to our house?
No. I'll send people to your house.
There you go. Because I ain't filled it out. I just...
You can, if you... You can do it online.
Do they pay you for that?
$22 an hour. And all I do is sit in my house and have the enumerators bring me their forms. I check them, and once a day take them down to the census office. It's a great job. What?
You gonna work 8 hours a
day? And 57 cents a mile I have to drive. That's pretty good mileage. Hell, when I was an enumerator, like in college, they paid me $14 an hour and around 50 cents a mile, but I had to drive a lot. But I was an assistant field supervisor, so I only had to go to the places where people were assholes. Most of the time I just sat at my apartment and people brought me stuff and I didn't do shit. I watched TV and waited for people to show up at my apartment.
How long is this job going to last? About a couple months?
They were expecting 2 months this year, but turnout the amount of people that have filled it out is low.
Yeah.
So maybe 3.
Like I said,
plus Central's always a bit of a bitch because.
I put mine aside and feel bad about it. My dad got one, but he's passed away, so I don't know if I need to write deceased or.
It's on.
He died in March.
Okay, then no. I think it's June 1st of this year. anyone living in your home at June 1st, on that one day, June 1st, even if they were just an overnight guest, they should be counted where they were that day. Now, a lot of people, if they were just visiting and they really live in another tax area, it is better for them to be counted where they live. One of the big problems we have is parents will often of college students will count them at their house, but college students should be counted on the campus they're staying at, so that they can provide adequate police services and stuff to the areas around campuses.
Well, a little extra money for you.
$800 a week.
And you still come out here at night and aggravate the shit out of them.
And unlike working for the state, where you can't really be political and all that stuff, when you work with the feds, you can do whatever you want as long as you don't do it on company time. Yeah. So you're not restricted from like being. The state you can't do. Like I couldn't be out here if I was working for the state.
Yeah. You put your application, they fly to you.
Well, yeah. I've been an enumerator twice, so I get bonus points. I was the only person called to be the field supervisor in Central, because like I already have the experience. I was the top enumerator my first year. My second time I did it, I had a 100% clear rate of all the forms I turned in. Any forms that were wrong brought in by my enumerators, I made them go back out and fix it, or I did, and they loved that. I really made sure that my part of the census was done right. We counted everybody, even if we just went to houses where people were reluctant and I just got the number of people that live there and their ages, which most people will give you that, if not their name. But this year people are scared because Trump wanted to put the censorship question on there, which has nothing to do with the census. We count everybody, regardless if you're a citizen or not. And people think that question's on there and they're scared to answer. Yeah. Headlights!
There's a cop right behind it.
I was sitting out here and Deputy Wheeler came by because these people complained about fucking harassment or something. And he stopped by me. He's like, "You been harassing anybody?" He's like, "No, I've been standing right here. I've been telling people to wear a mask, save a life." He's like, "Yeah, you can say whatever the hell you want." So you didn't like go on their property and start like yelling at them that they're pieces of shit or something or whatever. It's like, no, I don't care about these people like that.
How you fuck your old lady? You too fat, she fat.
And right when that was happening, somebody turned out of this parking lot and turned onto this side of the street and started going down the left lane right here. And he was like, "Hold on," and he just spun around, chased that dude down, put him in a Circle K, gave him like 4 tickets because we were out here on the road. He gave him like 2 different counts of reckless endangerment, driving the wrong way, and hazardous operation of a vehicle.
I saw that on the Facebook too, and she said, yeah, the protester said this, and this, but when the cop got there, the second cop showed up, and they let me go because the first cop was Trayvon his friend and lying on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't believe,
They like to say cops are doing something to me. The cops stop and talk to me because they all know me. And they know when they talk to me, I'm going to tell them the truth, exactly what's been going on.
Did he have a news conference?
Yeah, he did.
Was it going to be on the news?
Kennedy Walker interviewed him.
Now, who is Kennedy Walker?
A black lady. She does Channel 33 and 44. But
44 is about the only one that comes out here.
Well, 33 and 44 are really the same station. And then she interviewed me right after. Since I was out here.
So is he going to put either one of them on the news?
I think they both made it. I think that was on
So she asked you about
why I'm out here, what I think about this.
Oh, that was after the assault though,
No, that was while they were
Okay.
setting up their festival.
Okay.
And I told him everything wrong with it, you know.
Well, I called
And she agreed.
I called Channel 2 and 9.
Channel 2 and 9 don't want to be out here.
No. I talked to Lester Duhay a lot. We text message. And it's just like, we really don't want to cover Tony unless something really crazy happens. I sent him the battery stuff, and he's like, if that goes any further, he saw the video. It's like, if that becomes like anything else, especially attempted murder or something like that, then they'll definitely cover it. But he's like, I know you'd like it covered, but we don't want to give Tony Spell publicity because it gets money.
Yeah.
They don't want to.
People flooding him with money.
Oh, the more that they do to us, the more money they get.
Yeah. Well, because it gets publicity.
I mean, after my assault, people had posted all kinds of shit on like the Central City News saying, you should have shot his car, or even him.
They said snipers. He said he needs to beware of snipers.
Yeah, there were all kinds of threats.
It was all in caps, and I should have took a.
Oh, I have the screenshots.
Okay, that's what
but they're just on the line. No one said I'm going to.
And
they said you should.
That's what I responded to a lot. I said, "Ray never said I'm going to."
I want Scott let me sit on top of his house at 30 y'all
He said I could.
I could say. Exactly. They don't get the difference.
And one of the other supporters of your side, I guess, said, exactly, he's done nothing wrong. What was y'all doing out there?
I think I'm going to take a restraining order out on Darren. Just on Darren, so he can't come within 100 feet of me. And maybe his son. I don't want to take a restraining order out on all of them. But the guy that attacked me, I'm going to take a restraining order out on. Especially if he does anything else.
They ain't gonna do me like they do you. I'm gonna back up one time, pull that thing.
I got us a light so we can be more visible.
Ain't gonna be no trouble.
I think that's Tony in the window. But I got us a light so we can be more visible. Oh. Go back off. No, they're scared now. They know the police won't help them in any way. Support keeps going up. God. Last time I was in the hospital, I couldn't move my lower back at all. I had to. Yeah, I always carry a stick, man. These are great for hurting people. But I got us a little light here. Little extra battery.
You don't realize you try to come back across the hill to solid oak walking thing, it's gonna hurt like hell.
Oh, I know. That's why I have another wooden. I have a wooden one too. So if I fuck this one up, I gotta back up. Are they getting out early? 8:20. Is a lady from the church filming you like it is Maggie yourself? I don't fucking know. Tell me if this is too bright. I just want us to be visible, you know? I mean, it just makes us easier to see. Ugh. Don't bless me. I don't want you using your magic at me. I mean, I don't mind like a blessing from, like when somebody says bless you and they mean it because they're being nice, I sneeze, or they're just a random person, it's fine. But when these people do it, to me, they're using their magic at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. They said some of them when I responded to them, they said, we'll pray for you. I said, don't worry, I got my own direct route to God.
Yeah, I tell them not to pray for me. I also say I won't be praying for you.
I said, don't pray for me. I'll pray for you. Maybe my God is stronger than your God.
Yeah. I'll tell them, hey, if you want, bring your God on down here and I'll kick his ass.
One lady,
which is Tony's spell.
one lady, she put a little G. And I said, so let me get this straight. Your God, G-O-D, little G-O-D, is an idol.
Yeah.
Only the proper name is capital G-O-D.
Or Yahweh or Elohim.
That's the one most people believe in. Your G-O-D is an idol.
Might as well be Zeus. You have to remember how poorly educated these people are. All they know is what they're taught in that building. They know nothing about the world. Yeah, these people. These people don't care. These people don't care.
They probably say to me, let that boy, he done got his ass beat.
See, them people left and ain't nobody else left.
Some people with young kids or with health problems do leave early.
Okay.
They are a little bit lenient with that. Oh, if they pay their tithe.
Yeah.
David told me all about how, like, the weird shit that goes
He had
down.
a lot of trouble with his mama, huh?
He had been. Things have gotten a lot better with his mom.
Okay.
She is still going here. They're not like as regularly.
I saw something on Facebook and she says I'm his mom and I'm ashamed.
Yeah, she'll say that kind of shit publicly.
He's grown. He's an adult. Let him believe.
She'll say that shit publicly for save face with this place. But David was out here and I was talking to him. His mom stopped, and I talked to his mom, and she was nice. Like, she's playing both sides, you know.
I guess he has to do that since he chooses to go here. I need a charger. I hope yours is charged since I might have to call 911.
I've got two phones, so one of my phones is the one I would have it set up for filming, but they stole my goddamn tripod. Do y'all have a tripod y'all don't use?
Don't have a tripod.
Yeah.
That's when they steal your tripod, huh? I'll be your friend. You need to quit.
I know. I had to quit smoking. It's the stress of the last. Well, I mean, I don't smoke much, but the last month the stress has been so bad. And I bought my ex-wife a pack of cigarettes and wound up buying me one. I mean, I've only smoked 3 packs of cigarettes this month, except for since I got hurt. Which is probably the worst time to do it. It makes my.
About some marijuana right home.
Well, I have a prescription for marijuana.
Do you?
I have a legal Louisiana one.
Shit expensive.
Very. Now.
What does it cost? What?
A month, $400.
How much you get? A baggie?
No, it's in a liquid form.
Oh, like CDC?
Well, it's in coconut oil, so it tastes kind of good, and then it just has THC in it. I'd take 10 milligrams of it, and you let it sit in your mouth for a minute, and then you swallow it. It has a different effect than smoking it. Like, it comes on slower, but it helps with pain a whole lot. It helps with sleep a whole lot. But I could buy enough marijuana for a month for half that price.
Oh, yeah, what I was going to say, you can buy $200 marijuana.
Yeah.
A month.
So
I don't know what it was. Rather than narc. I used to know our shit, but it's been years since I've been a narc.
I buy the legal stuff, and then I have a friend. What?
Help you out.
Yeah, and I get some. That way I don't have to spend so much money. Plus the doctor that I have, he really doesn't mind. He understands. Dr. Chow. He has an undisclosed location office. You have to go to a site and register and shit. But you have conditions for it.
Yeah.
Now the stuff isn't covered under insurance. You have to pay.
I don't worry about that shit.
But
I can pay $30,000 cash for a truck.
Yeah, it's actually for sleep. Actually, with a lot of the conditions you're suffering from, the medical stuff could do you a lot of good.
A couple joints of them, smoked them. It's been years since I smoked. That shit felt good. I mean, I feel a lot better.
Yeah, it really does. It's a damn good medication when you have stuff wrong with you. Returns your appetite. You don't hurt. See,
drive and everything.
Yeah, I have pre-glaucoma. I have chronic nerve pain. I have anxiety. So I have multiple, but I mean, I get it for chronic pain because that's really easy to document. And it helps me take less anxiety medication. Like, I take less of other meds because I'm taking that, which is, it's a natural thing as opposed to taking weird pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, I didn't have no trouble in. My wife said she ain't never tried this shit, you know? My wife ain't never. I said, you want to get a joint and try it?
It's worth trying.
So they got stores out in Colorado. I went there.
Yeah, those are nice.
And
I went to Seattle and went to their stores, and they were.
2 blunts. You know about blunts.
Yeah.
I bought 2 blunts for $20. That wasn't bad, I mean.
And the stuff they have is amazing. I have a friend in Colorado who runs a marijuana growing facility.
I have a real good friend of mine. He's a multi-millionaire, and I called him. But he called me. I was talking. He said, "Can you give me some shit?" I said, "How much you want?" He give me about $400 worth of stuff. I bought $400.
We need to just make marijuana legal. Worry about real drugs that are killing people.
Yeah.
Like, if we legalize marijuana, then Mexicans wouldn't be bringing marijuana across the border. And with that, that's how they fund all the heroin and sex trafficking and crystal meth and shit.
Speed, acid, and all that.
Yeah, if we just legalize marijuana. And think of how many people are killed in drug wars in northern Mexico because they're bringing shit to us.
Well, See, when I used to be a
We're
farmer,
killing Mexicans with our drug laws.
when I was not, that shit was bad back in the 60s.
Well, yeah, that's because it was run by organized crime, and now it's run by just normal people.
Louisiana legalizes it and tries to make money on it instead of letting you just freely go. In Colorado, you can stop at the store and buy it.
What you do, go online and look up that child, he's a foreigner.
Oh, yeah, just search
How much
for.
is off
The first one's like $100, but then like he does like after that for your next bunch of refills, does like a $25 televisit, a $10 phone visit for when you need refills, and only every 6 months do you have to go in. He really tries to make it as affordable as possible.
Try to get in touch with him, through,
Dr. Chow, just look for Louisiana Medical Marijuana in Baton Rouge, and he's the only doctor. You register, you tell them what's wrong, and then they'll email you and tell you the address and when they make an appointment. Because, like, I can't give out the address.
Well,
it's off of Sherwood Forest.
Well, I know that, But,
Yeah, but they just don't want.
It might help me a little bit.
It really would. Like, the conditions that you're suffering from are perfect for marijuana. Are you having trouble sleeping? How do you sleep? Do you sleep well? Do you eat well? It works great for that. And
if I sleep 3 hours a night, I'm good.
And they did just come out with a double strength bottle. So rather than having to buy 2 bottles, it costs $400. You can buy 1 bottle, and it's like $325. So the prices are coming down. They are pushing for legalizing the vaporizer pens because they work instantly, and a cartridge costs $25, and you could probably use 4 of those a month. That's way cheaper. Hell, you could get.
Well, you said you got delayed reaction, like you got about an hour or so, something like that.
Yeah, 30 minutes to an hour for the liquid.
We got a truck who's coming out of the parking lot kind of slow.
Don't worry about him.
Well, sometimes I like to turn around and make my sign face them. But I'm not talking to them. God damn it, my mom's calling.
Huh?
Hiller made it all go away.
Yeah, I know Hillary real good too.
He's a good man, really.
Hiller Moore got us out of the flood. If it wouldn't have been for him, we'd have drowned in the middle of Hooper Road.
Wow, Hiller's a good man.
We sit down there, when they evacuated us from our house, they brought us to Hooper Road. And we sat in our car all day long. We asked the cops for help. We called the fire department for help. We called Red Cross. All those people going up and down the road in boats. And probably about 5 o'clock that Saturday evening, the boat pulled up and he said, "Y'all folks do realize the water's getting higher?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "There's a 90-year-old man in here. There's a diabetic and heart patient in here. There's 2 senior citizen women and 1 20-something-year-old guy." I said, "We'll be in our vehicles swept down to wherever the river lands us." I said,
You know, Tony got people to come here. He's like, "Oh, this will be safe." And it all started flooding here, and they had to airlift everybody out with helicopters. If he just wouldn't have done that, people would have gone to safer places, and we wouldn't have wasted all that money airlifting people.
Church and house and everything.
well, they couldn't go that way, that's for sure. I don't know how bad. That way was pretty bad, too.
I was lucky. I live in Forest Glen Estates off Greenville Springs Road.
Yeah.
And my house did flood. The very front of my neighborhood didn't.
Okay.
But like I saw the water coming up. My at the time wife and I, we got our dog, we got in the car and we went to a friend's house in Broadmoor. We were the last people to be able to make it across the bridge on Greenville Springs Road near Droz Road. After we went through, they closed it.
Here's the thing is, I've lived down there all my life. I'm 61 years old. I've seen water this deep no problem. It wouldn't have got in the house. So I kept calling my dad, and I'm like, Dad, how bad do you think it's going to get? I mean, at 5 o'clock, we got our car out of the road, out of the driveway, and put it on the road. But I called my dad, and I said, how bad do you think it's going to get? He said, it's not going to get any worse than 82. And I said, okay, I'm safe.
Yeah, except it was 12 feet higher.
Then I'm looking back at that 55 acres, and I'm seeing white caps just rolling. And at 9 o'clock, water started coming in the back of my house. And I called my dad, and I said, well, Dad, I got water coming in. How bad do you think it's going to be? He said, hey, it might be like the flood of 52. And I said, I was born in 59, Dad. Fill me in here. He said, well, that house down there got a couple of inches. I'm like, Dad, it's halfway up to my knee. I'm fixing to get out of here. I had just finished chemo. I mean, just finished chemo.
I got 5.5 feet. My house, I lost
You
everything.
got 6 foot.
Yeah.
And see, I didn't own the house, so I lost everything.
I own the house. So that was like, actually, my house is way nicer now.
FEMA didn't give me nothing because the house, I'm supposed to inherit,
I would see, as soon as I evacuated, I went on FEMA's website and immediately registered, and I'm handicapped and stuff. So I was the second person to get a trailer in all of
They
Louisiana.
got my father a trailer really quick, but we asked for a handicap trailer.
I got a handicap trailer.
90 years old.
They didn't give y'all one?
No, they give him one that's about this wide. It was.
I had a full-size trailer. I had handicap-sized bathrooms. Did you get a wheelchair in?
No.
That's what I got.
See, you couldn't even. They put a bathtub in there.
They built me a ramp up to the front door.
The roof trailer was 8 foot wide. Had a
I saw some of those.
kitchen table that was 4 foot wide, and the room between his kitchen cabinet and the room to his bathroom was a hall this wide.
I even had some decent furniture, and they let us keep all the furniture. I kept the stove, the dishwasher, the refrigerator, all the furniture.
Yeah.
Except in one room they built bunk beds. They built them in there out of wood, and you couldn't get them out. I took the mattresses. I took everything. I mean, they said you keep everything in the trailer. I left the couch because it was a piece of crap.
I think they told us we couldn't have the appliances out of there. Yeah, they wouldn't give us.
They let us have the appliance. If they were not bolted down, they said you could have them.
Yeah.
I took everything. Of course, once I called them to get the trailer out of my yard, it took them 3.5 months to come pick it up. Some of my neighbors were like, "You're living off the government. You ain't living in that trailer and you still got it." It's like, yeah, I wish they'd come pick it up. Because I have some asshole neighbors. They're gone now. Wow, when I was here yesterday, I didn't get nearly so many honks. Like, this salt thing's gotten out, and the fireworks. Man, the lady at Circle K, I stopped there.
The people who was out here the first day it started would come back out here and stand right there in the middle of the street, all 6 foot apart, with signs in their hands.
Or even if the number of people that came right after Tony's arrest, when we still had 10, 12 cars down the road. That was nice. And everybody stayed their car lengths apart. You know, like... Two people have. They stopped and gave me, each person gave me $20. And I got the guy that destroyed my sign, he gave me $20 for destroying my sign. And he came back and apologized. What? Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't a member here. He went to a Baptist church. And he came back and apologized to me because he went through their service, and he was like shocked at the crap they said, how often they asked for money. And he was like, you're an atheist and I'm a Baptist, and they consider us both the same thing, just evil demon people that are going to hell. Because if you get baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, you weren't baptized right. they only allow baptism in the name of Jesus, and it has to be submersion.
Well, Baptists are submerged.
Yeah, I know a lot of, but yeah, but they don't say, well, a Catholic guy, Christian.
Father, Son, the Holy Ghost.
If you get baptized that way, you're going to hell, according to these people.
You need to read the Bible.
I know that's what John the Baptist, when he was baptizing Jesus, he did it in the name of the Father.
And he's called in other churches, because the church that we went to, we told the pastor we won't be back, because he said, no, we're not wearing masks. We're not stopping the hugging and kissing. And I said, well, don't count on me being there, because
Most churches are going up like Journey Church. Journey Church is a hardcore Christian church, and they've gone out of their way. They require reservations to come, so there's only so many people. They telecast everything. When things get bad, they ask less people to come. I mean,
what is Woody Jenkins? Is he got some mental?
Woody Jenkins just cares about controversy.
I mean, I remember my dad.
Does he go to this church?
He goes to all the services to film them. I don't think he went before that. I'd be surprised if he was even a Christian. He's just pissed that he loses every election he runs for. He ran out here, and he lives in fucking in St. George, whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
It's like, why in the world do you think we want you to represent us? You don't live here.
Yeah. And now he's fighting against
Wow, they're really clearing out. Their parking lot's emptying quick.
It's a beautiful night.
It is. This is the best night we've had in a while.
It's cool. I mean, it's really nice. Oh, I'm getting hungry. You know, in the hospital, their food sucks, don't it?
What?
When you're in the hospital, their food sucks.
God, doesn't it? Especially if you have some heart thing and they want to give you low sodium.
No sodium.
Food without salt tastes like crap.
Diabetic food, no salt, no pepper, no nothing.
It doesn't taste good no matter how you look at it. That is some gross
I
stuff.
know when my dad was in the hospital, see, from the blood on till he passed away in March, that whole 5 years he was going downhill.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd be in the church because he fell and had a blood clot on his brain. They had him operated on, and he wasn't, I know you can't have salt. And he said, Sandra, I'm 89 years old. I said, you know what, Dad, you're 89.
Did you get COVID tested?
No.
Because you know a lot of COVID's causing a lot of blood thickening. And so, no, I doubt you got it,
No,
but...
his is thin.
Oh, you were thin?
Yeah, he
Okay.
takes a blood thinner plus an aspirin.
Yeah, well, you stick me out.
Wait, which blood thinner? Heparin?
No, Plavix.
Plavix. That's way better than heparin.
Yeah,
Much safer.
he takes Plavix and a full strength aspirin.
Yeah, because Plavix doesn't fuck up your clotting factor when you get cut nearly as
Well,
bad.
and he started bleeding a little bit.
But you can get it under control.
I didn't think it was that bad because it quit. And then
It'll start back
after
up.
the fireworks and all, I called the cops, and after that I went to check on him, and it was like this.
I don't touch.
It was like this. This whole part of his head was sticking up like this. And I said, we got to go to the hospital. He said, I'm not going to the hospital. I said, I bet your ass is. And
really recommend if that swelling doesn't go down, keep getting it checked, man.
A pacemaker.
I know.
But this don't make no sense. They won't do it till the COVID is over. That don't make no sense, does it?
Well, yeah, it does.
Well, the COVID in the hospital with recirculating air, if they give you COVID, you'll die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah, if I die, I got so much health issues.
yeah, it's like, why make you die faster? If you have a heart attack and die, it happens. But if they put you in the hospital trying to save you and they kill you,
Yeah.
that defeats the whole point.
I found out in February that I needed gallbladder surgery.
Ooh.
And all hell broke loose. So I've been suffering with my gallbladder until a few weeks
Are they going to
ago.
remove it?
They did. But
You haven't had any of the bad side effects, have you? Okay. My grandmother had her gallbladder removed, and she had the bad digestive, constant explosive diarrhea thing.
yeah, every now and then I'll have a little diarrhea, but
She had it 3 times a day,
No,
which
I
is
haven't
rough
had-
when you're like 97.
I
You
haven't
gotta.
had it like that, and thank goodness.
It doesn't affect it.
I had
But it
my
was so funny
gallbladder.
because
Nothing.
No problem.
It was
Some
all-
people it just
I
tears
had no
up.
problem.
I haven't had too much, but it was so funny because it happened and my doctor referred me to a surgeon. And I made an appointment for March, and of course they started canceling appointments in March. Well, in April he calls me and says, we can do a video visit and go ahead and set up surgery. And I'm like, Doc, no hard feelings, but I refuse to meet you for the first time in the operating room. I
I
said,
don't mind video. I like video
I'm gonna see you
visits.
face to face before you cut on me.
Well, yeah, I agree. I like video visits, but I would still want to have a real
I
visit.
don't want video. I tell the doctor go fuck
I
yourself.
used
I don't want no video.
I understand.
I don't
I
know
mean,
if
I'm
you-
younger, so to me, it's a little bit
I used the
different.
lake
But
doctors, and I had one video visit with my primary care doctor. She called me and made it. Then she calls me up and says, now what was it we was going to talk about today? And I'm like, I don't know, you called me for the appointment. Maybe you need to renew my drugs? Okay, I'll do that. Well, she just forgot to do that. I had to call her back.
don't you hate that?
And then she said, have you had any mental anxiety over COVID?
Of course, yeah. Everybody has.
I said no, because I didn't want it to go to my mental health care.
Yeah. It's like, why do you even ask that? Of course, we've all had some.
Well, here's the thing, Trey. I work. for
Yeah.
the
Oh,
lake.
yeah. You don't want it.
Well, I work for the lake, and I was given the video visits as my task force to get paid.
My mom works at Cardiovascular Associates.
Okay. Well, I was given the video visits, and I have to look at medical records because I'm having to appeal every damn one of them. And every one of them has got behavioral health issues. And I'm like, they were just...
You are allowed to edit your medical records.
Here comes the cop. Bull.
Where?
Way down there. He's probably pulling somebody over. Because people do the dumbest speeding right here.
I know.
It's like, oh, it became 4 lanes. Let me go 100 miles an hour.
You know, and just about everywhere we drove after we left Louisiana, the speed limit was 80,
Yeah.
and people were still passing me. And I told Chester, I said, damn, number one, I can't believe I'm driving 80 miles an hour, and people are still passing me.
I think that cop pulled over whoever he was after.
They drive like me.
It looks like right there at that senior
Yeah.
subdivision.
Yeah.
They drive like maniacs around here.
I know.
Seems like everybody's moving.
Yeah,
Now, notice traffic's been a lot less bad than it had. Like, remember how when we were out here on Sunday? It's like there was so much more traffic. People are actually starting to be a little bit more responsible and not just go driving out, going everywhere all the time.
Some of the people are catching it
Yeah.
and realizing, well, we better.
Like, I went to Walmart the other day and everybody was wearing a
and
mask.
Walmart made a policy.
I went, even before the policy, I went to Dollar General and everybody was wearing a mask. I was like, that was the first place in Central I saw where everybody was wearing a mask.
Said, in Wyoming, if you went to enter a business, you had to have it on. And outside, if it was congested, you'd have an official come by and say, a little congested here, put your mask on.
At the antique shops that we have, if people come in without a mask, there's masks at the front door on it, and it's like, you can take a mask. If you refuse to take a mask, get the hell out of our store.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. It's like,
And I mean, what is it? People are gonna be.
Antiques are not essential.
Okay, it's not a law. You want to make it a law?
It's a mandate. I mean, you know, like, and this is Louisiana. The governor has a lot of power, but they keep trying to neuter him. What?
I'm gonna lean against your car.
You can do whatever you want, man.
No, I can't do whatever I want.
Yeah. Oh.
I got it. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it. The exercise.
Was it the man? Was it two
What you
people
stepping
who
on?
attacked you, or just one?
What? One, just the one guy. Well, his son also was like, yeah, you better get back, and he took his with his big stomach and pushed me back, which is also simple battery.
But they only charged the man with.
Yeah, but until the better video evidence will show him doing it, and he'll get a simple battery charge. And I really think they're going to upgrade the charge at least for the other guy up to attempted manslaughter. I mean, it depends on how well they think they can.
A mark on your neck?
I just love the way they said, nothing happened. He got 2 tickets. That's all he got. And I'm like, court summons.
Yeah, he got 2 summons, one for destruction of property
Court summons.
and one for.
Not a ticket. There's not call up and find out how much you
I
owe.
was
Damn, my son's up.
I do too.
My son's up for jury duty.
For violent crimes, there's some chance for simple battery that they would give him like
I guess
2 years supervised probation or something.
I guess it depends on what his criminal history is, if he's not had any.
Well, he's a security guy, so he probably doesn't. That's why I want him to up it to attempted manslaughter so he goes to jail.
He's not working for a security company.
No.
He's working for church.
Actually, I think he does own a security company too.
Oh, if he could find that information out, I'd post it.
He said something like that to me
once.
once.
For felony. That way he can lose his license and everything else.
Well, if he doesn't own the company.
Is there felony battery?
No.
Yeah.
Well, the only time it can be a battery or a weapon used, a stick.
Oh, it's aggravated battery?
Yeah. There's verbal assault too.
Yeah, you threaten somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, that's what they said. Why didn't they charge Trey? Because he threatened to rape a woman.
because I didn't threaten to rape a
No,
woman.
you said I can say whatever I want to say.
I could say that I could bend your wife over a truck and fuck her in the ass. I didn't say that she wouldn't consent to it. I assumed she would because her husband wouldn't be any good at it.
It'd been a whole lot of different stories.
Yeah.
Somebody been to the hospital.
Well, if Scott had been home.
I never said anything about rape at all
No.
or any forced sexuality. I was simply using my freedom of speech to illustrate that I can say whatever I want as long as I'm not inciting violence or criminal activity. And
And then they was going to say, there was children present.
there were no children around. None. And I could give 2 fucks if children are around. I don't have to change my language because kids are.
Fat huzzy and him, they could fucking their head too.
We all want to change our language a little.
I mean,
bit
yeah,
from
I do,
children.
but I don't legally have to.
Right.
I was told after all the place you did, she fucked your dick.
And if I'm having an argument with somebody and it's vulgar and they bring their kids out, I'm not changing my thing. It's like, why did you bring your kids to an argument? That's just stupid.
Remove your children.
Exactly. That's what normal people do.
It's like I said, okay, so he's saying all kind of mean things. Ignore him.
Yeah.
He'll go away.
Oh, I thought that's why I was saying when I was saying I wanted them to leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk to them. They didn't have to drive up here.
You're talking to the people on the road.
Exactly. I'm just, hell, I'm trying to save these people's lives.
Yeah.
Where did he throw that over by the ditch over there? Right here.
Down in the ditch, wasn't it?
I was parked so the back of my car faced at the church, and they were in the ditch. But when I got thrown down, my face hit the street. At least I'm pretty sure. It's a little blurry.
Yeah.
I may have lost a little consciousness there. I'm not sure. And I was being choked, so.
I mean, that guy was intent on.
He weighed about 260.
I think he weighs more like 360,
Yeah,
but.
he was heavy. He was.
He's a big.
180, 140.
What?
You weigh about 140 pounds?
I weigh 168, but still, I mean.
Yeah, but you ain't no fighter. Now.
No.
I can tell that.
He's twice my size, and I don't fight. Like, I'm out here being an activist, so like, if I fight back, then, you know, I'm involved in it.
I don't fight back because I'm not.
I don't fight back because I have a high pain tolerance, but B, if I fight back, that can mitigate some of the
Nobody
crime
tried
that
to
they
help
did.
you?
No. The only person that did was the man's wife who pulled him off of me. Everyone else
And I know
around.
she probably thought, sweetheart, you done ruined our lives, because now we're going to be sued.
Yeah. She's like, holy shit, stop it, stop. Oh my God. Just like when Tony was backing this bus up. His wife was the only reason he stopped because she was yelling at him to stop. Now, he said he was coming to talk to me. Who the fuck backs a bus at somebody illegally down the road when he could have just stopped right there? Now, if he had gotten out of the bus to talk to me, like, I'm not talking to you, go away. It'd have been 4 seconds. I wasn't going to talk to Tony. I don't care what he says. But you don't back a bus up illegally down a street
Yeah.
to talk to somebody. Nobody's going to buy that shit. And he thinks that you have to prove intent. It's like, no, it's my feeling of fear of my life that makes something assault. It's not how what he intended to do. He can say he intended whatever.
If you should have done that, they would fall down and say, okay, see, I fell down, I couldn't run, I fell down.
I'm just.
Is that a cop? No.
No. If they are, they'll probably wave. Support's being really good. They really pissed off the neighborhood with the fireworks. Like, after the fireworks, a bunch of people stopped and were like, I can't believe they. I mean, a lot of people are already pissed about the noise.
Midnight?
Oh yeah, I stayed till 2
I
o'clock
couldn't
in
believe
the
it.
morning.
I tell you, I'd wait
How
back.
what time you got here?
6.
Chester and I
You
was.
have brought you supper, huh?
Yeah, I brought supper with
Chester
me.
had went to bed, and I had sat up for a while, and then I just laid down, and I mean, it shook the house.
Oh yeah,
And I said, holy shit.
it was
I
loud.
mean, I picked up the phone and called 911, and I said, somebody's bombing Central.
It was
And
like
he laughed and he said, no, he said, it's just fireworks.
it was
He said,
as loud as the fireworks on the barges on the
Where they hit
Mississippi.
fireworks display at?
right behind it. And
Well, like they own this land there,
Yeah.
and then there's that guy's property, and then they own on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And they were shooting on the other side, like you can see him across those trees. And
that ball field over there. That's
Yeah.
where all the food vendors were. And my cousin used to own that field.
you know, when they bought that land, they used the FEMA money they got to fix this church, and instead of fixing the church, they legally used it to buy that land. Because that money was not supposed to be used that way.
No.
There are people, the federal government's investigating that. That's one of the reasons why things are dragging on, because well, there's two different suits. That's a federal civil suit, which he's been trying to get dismissed and has failed at every opportunity. He implies that stuff he's doing has something to do with trumped up charges about his assault, but they filed no motions to try and dismiss that because there's 100% proof, there's witnesses. Nobody in the world believes that he was backing up a bus the wrong way down the street to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
He couldn't even see me. Like, you know how when you stand behind a bus, I couldn't see the mirrors. He couldn't see me. He didn't know if he had hit me, he wouldn't have known. You can't. A bus doesn't like care about hitting something 160, 70 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A bus would kill you quick.
Yeah. Well, that's why I stepped towards the side of the road so I'd only get clipped by the corner. But I was gonna let the bus hit me. If he was gonna drive at me, I was gonna take the bus hit.
Somebody else that car.
Looks like a whole lot of them down there. Yeah, there is more than one. There must be a wreck at that senior center.
Could be a wreck. Maybe there was a wreck and they found drugs.
They usually have wrecks right there at that senior subdivision.
Yeah, they do.
All the time.
Another thing that's been happening a lot is because of the lack of movement, drug prices have gone up crazy. So people are taking a lot of extra risk to move drugs because they can sell them for double, triple the money. And they can cut them down to half, so they double that. Which is killing people left and right. I mean, I do drug counseling. I don't support, people just willy-nilly buying drugs. But I think that if we decriminalized drugs and took it out of the hands of criminals in other countries and regulated it, and sold drugs.
Louisiana regulated it too much.
Yeah.
They only let LSU and Southern produce it.
Well, it's kind of a test. There are some bills to expand it to include.
You can get to where, like Colorado, you can stop at the store and pick it up.
I think it's first going to go to you can stop at the store and pick it up, but if you have a medical reason, and then it'll go into full legalization.
Yeah. I've always said if you legalize it, and they're like, no, it kills people.
If marijuana was legal,
it's going to kill people either way.
If marijuana was legal, a lot of crime would go down. People wouldn't be smoking in their cars. Black guys wouldn't be accused of the odor of marijuana and pulled out of their car and shot.
Well, I ain't got nothing against marijuana. But
I don't either. But all those other drugs, I knew a lot of people that wound up addicted to opiates.
Yeah.
I know one of them that's still alive.
Opiates.
I was prescribed them for a long time, and they started getting to me where when you're like, I can't go anywhere because next week I have to get my refill. I was like, no. So I went to the methadone clinic and just tapered off of that shit.
Well, see, a friend of mine broke his neck, and he was on opiates, and he got so bad addicted, he committed suicide.
Yeah. That's what.
When I had my gallbladder surgery, the doctor
you
had asked me.
Baby?
The doctor had asked me beforehand. He said, "Do you want a prescription painkiller?" I said, "It's going to be the weekend. You're going to be out of reach." I said, "Go ahead and give me the smallest amount you can, and I might take them." He gave me like 7, and I took them.
If
they offer me painkillers, to say no more than 7 days. At a time.
Well, they won't give you no more 7 days now.
Good. Because 7 days is all I need. No, for all this though, they gave me 1 pill for last night and 4 pills for today. And that ain't enough. Like, at all. this shit is getting, like, I can't even go see the other doctor till Monday.
But tomorrow is Monday.
Yeah, but that's if I can get in to see him. That's the earliest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, what if?
I don't take painkillers unless I absolutely have to.
I really could use a
We'll
couple
see
of those you got left over.
I told you I'd call me
Right now
tomorrow.
we got everything packed up, but
Yeah, would it be tomorrow's busy? Could I just follow y'all and grab a couple?
Yeah.
Would that be
do you
okay?
know where they are, Chester?
Yeah, the new ones the doctor gave me.
Oh, okay.
Cause
Well, them are for a headache. I don't know if
They tramadols.
No, they're not either.
Yeah, they are.
I don't think so. He said something. It wasn't tramadol.
They for pain.
Let me look in my bag, because I know I got some.
Yeah, you got some of yours.
And hell, they knocked me out. Shit.
those are the kind I really need so I can sleep.
The doctor wrote to me when I found out I had gallbladder. She said, I'm going to give you these. She said, you might want to take a half one. I just thought he was going to take me to the hospital. It knocked me out. He couldn't wake me up. I told Chester, I said, if I take another one of them, it's going to be a 4.
What did they give you?
I don't know, but shit.
Way too strong.
I never had a pain pill like that. I told him, I said, yeah, them will be cut in 4 parts.
I'll remember that because I don't want to. I just want pain relief. I don't want to be like high. I want to be able to go to sleep. Like, sleep is what.
Won't you run down and get them real quick? You know where they are. I'll sit here.
Thank y'all so much.
Put the van seat down.
I can't, except for the true believers parked over there. Most of these people are left. Yeah, usually is it?
They're not hollering at you as they leave, but not now.
They don't want to get charged with crimes. Yeah, they did. That's why they made up all this rape allegation crap and bullshit.
I'm gonna tell you, if he doesn't meet you, shot killed.
I'm suing the shit out of Central City News. They printed all that shit. That's fucking liable.
I gotta put a muffler on that van. You hear it?
What?
That muffler on that van.
Oh.
I gotta put a muffler on it.
It's not too bad that you'll get like a ticket, but yeah, you gotta get a muffler on that.
I'll do it tomorrow, next day.
They save you a couple gas miles too.
Yeah. We'll be fixing to buy another. My wife a brand new van. I don't want to spend too much money on that one.
That makes sense. It's worth all the same trade either way.
Anyway, well, I ain't gonna trade it. I'm gonna put it on the side of the road and sell it.
Huh.
Get better money for it.
Yeah, you do. Well, you can always go to CarMax. You don't have to sell it. You can. They'll give you a quote on what they'll buy it for, and you don't have to buy another car from them.
Oh, okay.
It might not be what you're looking for,
Yeah.
but they'll give you the quote for free.
But the book value on $2,900. I like to get at least $2,000. You know. I know a dealership, they say all that bullshit, but they don't give you that.
No, they
rip you off here, yonder.
Hey, you get a new car and they up the value of the trade, but they're really just keeping their MSRP high when they know they got huge amounts of room over.
When I bought that truck, I went in, I told them, through the cash on the death, I said, just how much money I got, how much I'm going to pay for it. The little said, oh, let me figure all this stuff out. I ain't paying that much. I was walking out, the manager came out. Sir, let's talk about it. So we sat there and talked about 15, 20 minutes. I said, this is bullshit. I told you what I'm going to give for it, that's it, I'm going. We can work something out, so they worked something out.
I can't believe how much of my body hurts. I've never had anybody hold me down and choke me.
My body hurts so bad falling out of that bed too. Every bone.
Oh God, that is
And
painful.
we got one of those high beds, you know, not one of
Yeah,
those low ones.
I have a high one too.
See, last night when in bed, my left arm was numb, feeling everything. My chest was hurting.
That's heart attack.
And I told my
You had that
wife, I said, I'm
again?
gonna go and lay down in bed and everything.
That's not a good
I
idea,
got
man.
up, I couldn't breathe, you know. I don't know. That's all I know.
If you get that symptom again, man, call 911 right away.
See, they put me in trauma. I was in trauma all night last night because they couldn't get my heart rate. They said I had actually a mild heart